When taking pictures of kids and pets, what you want to have is a faster shutter speed and ultimately fast focusing, but this camera doesn't have all of that. So what you want is press the function button, access the function menu. Now you'll notice down here at the very end there's a scene option. So let's move over there. I'll just press the left navigation button to access that. And go ahead and hit display. You can see here it says display. Click the display button to change that scene. And we want to move it over until you get to kids and pets. And this will really optimize the camera for kids and pets. It'll try and use the fastest shutter speed that the camera can produce. It doesn't give you access to white balance, and it doesn't give you access to ISO. Because it's doing the best it can to change those accordingly. Go ahead and press the function button to escape that menu. Now the flash, this really depends if you're outdoors. If you want to eliminate shadows, you can go ahead and use the flash, but auto flash will not do that because the camera is going to think that there is already enough light. So force the flash by pressing the flash button and move it over to on. And hit set, or give it a second, it'll go away. Now the flash is going to be used. Even if you're outdoors, the flash will be used, and this will help eliminate some shadows. The ISO is set to auto, which is fine. The other way of doing this is setting it up manually. The way to do that, go ahead and press the function button. Now move over to manual, and this gives you control over the camera. So most of the time I use the manual settings, so as opposed to moving over to a different function, I can just quickly access the different settings that I need and change those, and it seems to be a little bit faster and better. So one thing is go down, set your white balance to either daylight if you're outdoors, cloudy, anything that really matches your situation. If you're indoors, go ahead and use tungsten or fluorescent. This really depends on what light source is in your scene. So I'm going to assume we're outdoors. I'm going to go with daylight and then hit the function button to escape the function menu. Now you may want to use the flash. It'll brighten up the image and will allow for a slightly faster shutter speed, but only to some degree. So go ahead and turn the flash on if you're indoors. This can also help eliminate shadows if you're outdoors, so use the flash and increase the ISO. This will help you increase the shutter speed, which will be better for fast-moving kids and pets. So press the up navigation button and then just move that all the way up to even 800. Even if you're outdoors and there's plenty of light, it'll allow the camera to use a faster shutter speed, which is what you want. So use that. And then finally, the other thing is press the shutter button halfway before taking a picture. This is very, very important for every picture, but especially in this case. And this may require some patience. So for example, focus on the child or the pet. Press the shutter button halfway. Wait for it to focus. It won't take too long. And you can see here my shutter speed is 1/500th of a second, which is great. That's fast enough. Now what you want to do is basically just keep that shutter button pressed halfway until something happens. Until the kid looks at you or something like that, you get their attention or something happens, then press the shutter button the rest of the way and the picture will be immediately taken. So remember, press the shutter button to focus on the subject. If you can't focus on the subject, you can maybe try and find something that's at roughly the same distance and focus on that, and then just recompose your image, move the camera around, recompose the image with the shutter button still pressed halfway, and then as soon as something happens, go ahead and press the shutter button the rest of the way and the picture will be taken. To find out much more about digital photography and your digital camera, go to lbguides.com.